everyone. Welcome to the Scenic Hills and Sabold Elementary School 5th grade spring band concert. I'm Megan Skelfo. I am the principal at Scenic Hills, and I wanted to provide a few reminders before we get started this evening. One, if you haven't already done so, please turn off your cell phones. Two, the restrooms are located in the lobby area just behind the auditorium if you haven't been here with us before at ETR. If you need to move around during the show, we ask that you please do so between numbers so as not to distract our musicians while they are playing. The students have worked very hard to prepare this show for you. Many early morning rehearsals each week, and I am so very excited for them to have the opportunity to present their work to you all tonight. Before they get started, I want to thank a few who made this evening possible. In addition to the students' very hard work to prepare, it truly has been a team effort. Thank you to the PIMS group for their organizational, financial, and volunteer support. This wouldn't be possible without you. Thank you to the band parents who, of course, ensure that all the students are here for their morning rehearsal each week and that they practice their music at home. And thank you to Mr. Gibson for all of his work teaching the students the skills they've needed over the last couple years to learn their instruments and be able to play together for you this evening. All of you work together to make sure the music program here at Springfield remains one of the best in the area, and we're very proud of it. Without any further delay, I would like to introduce our band director, our elementary band director, Mr. Evan Gibson, who will lead the students in their performance for you this evening.
Inspired by its title, this work paints a powerful picture of guardians who are protectors of something important. The work begins with a trumpet fanfare that announces the strength of a fortress guarded by skillful soldiers. As enemy forces draw near, the tempo increases and the fortress guardians prepare for combat. Upon impact, the brave soldiers defend their territory, proving victorious in their efforts. The trumpets call one last time in celebratory fashion for all to hear the triumph of our protectors. By Robert Braw is all about building up energy.
The piece begins with a strong repeating statement for the low brass while the percussion lays down a strong bass. As the instruments are added into the texture, the piece gets more and more complicated. There are loud brass moments and flowing woodwind melodies. You will understand why the piece is called 1, 2, 3, 4. By listening to our first group moment, you'll hear 1 note, 2 notes, then 3, and then 4. Get it? Enjoy.
Defender of Time is an epic cinematic work that takes listeners on a heroic musical journey. With bold themes, dramatic tension, and powerful percussion, Rob Grice paints the image of a timeless guardian standing against the forces of chaos. Written in a minor key to set a dark tone, Defender of Time features flowing melodies in the trumpet, flute, saxophone, and clarinet section, while the low brass provides a bedrock of depth and power. This piece has a lot to offer all members of the band, and believe it or not, we only use 6 notes.
To dare greatly is inspired by this quote from Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives vainly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, because who knows the great enthusiasm of the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end he fails, while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat.
This stirring march from the Indiana Jones series is loved by indie fans worldwide. The exciting theme is played anytime Indiana Jones is off on an adventure. It portrays the character's dynamic flair and strength, and it's perfect fit for the elementary band. With bold brass and thrilling rhythms, our band brings the energy and excitement of the movies here to the Springfield stage. We hope you enjoy Raiders March.
This happened on the 4th grade one too. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I mean, this 5th grade band has been doing such a fantastic job. Give it up for them. I had a student today, they got really wide-eyed. They were like, we're doing 7? Right? And it's really great because, you know, this is my 6th year here in Springfield, and I've never had a 5th grade band who played this much music at their spring concert. And it's really a testament to their ability to read their music. Reading music is a language, all right? And as you guys, adults, know, learning a second language is pretty tough, all right? And so these guys are known, and they're doing a fantastic job. They sound really great. They're playing very quality music for their age. And I'm just really, really proud of all their hard work. And here at ETR, we have a fantastic band program. And in Springfield, we have a fantastic band program, as you guys heard at Springfield Dance Together. So I highly encourage, if you guys remember, just think back a year ago, tonight. It was May 21st last year, too. And think about what they sounded like in 4th grade. Right, their first concert. Now think about how they sound now. And that growth is exponential. And we do really great things here in Springfield, so I highly encourage them to continue. One thing that I wish I could kind of alter is sometimes I think some of the messaging that they might hear is a little mixed. And I don't want them to ever think about, you know, what they're not able to take. Right? Sometimes they think, oh, if I take band, I can't do this class, I can't do this, and it's all about like what they can't do. But I'm not sure if those classes would get them doing something like this. And they really are doing fantastic work, really good music, and I just really highly encourage them to continue. You know, even if they're on the fence, tell them to get through that first winter concert. They'll get up here, they'll know so many of their peers before the schools combine in 6th grade, right? And it's a great thing. I think I told you guys about it in my last concert, but my first roommate out of college, I met in 6th grade band. All right, so not only is there great music, all right, there's a great sound, there's great things to learn, right? There might be, you know, 50-year friendships in front of us, and we just haven't experienced it. So, highly encourage it, and thank you guys all for coming. We have 2 more pieces. Scott, if you can come on up.
Furioso by Robert W. Smith is one of the most popular overtures for elementary band. This piece requires all sections of the band to play independently and confidently. Written in a minor key, it combines various furious musical moments into one driven piece of music. This piece features lively rhythm in the percussion section, a groovy bass line in the French horns and saxophone section, and a proud melody played by the flutes, clarinets, and trumpets. Near the end, you'll hear and see the trombones loudly glissando from note to note. We hope you enjoy this energizing and exciting piece.
to talk again. That sounded so good, guys. That was awesome. Good job. I think you guys will know this last one. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you for doing what you do, for paying for instruments, getting in the morning band, and all of this such. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Have a great spring and summer. One, two,